guys.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Miriangela Chezira,
And mine is Lillian Rantale Jones.
and this is Glory in Family series.
Yeah.
Glory in Family series deals with only family related issues.
Yes.
Things that happen in homes, in families, things like that. So thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. May you be blessed as you watch. Today's topic is about blended families.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Of course, it has always been a thing. There have always been blended families in the world. We know stories like Snow White and her stepmother, Cinderella with her stepmother and sisters. And of course, those stories don't give
Good vibes.
They don't give good vibes. They don't give hope
Yeah.
about blended families. But I think all those are issues that just never get sorted right. They never get fixed or started out right. So, what is a blended family? A blended family is when two people come together and make a family. They get married, but either one of them has children from a previous relationship,
Or
both have children from previous relationships, and they also have their own children. That's a blended family. There are children from both sides that are not from each other, and then there are children from each other that are in a family. That is a blended family. So what we are going to talk about today is how to have good blended families, happy blended families, life-giving blended families, not the stories of Cinderella and Snow White. Cinderella was trying to run from her family. She married a prince. Anyway, jokes aside.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to say something before I begin?
No, you
I
begin.
begin.
Yes.
Okay. So, one thing I would say about a blended family is I think communication is very important. Communication of expectations, communications of guidelines. So when a family comes together, let's say the husband has children and they're joining the family, okay, of course they're already there. You are joining the family and then you make children together. The husband needs to set clear guidelines of the relationship and how it should go.
Yeah.
There needs to be a clear understanding of who this person is that has joined the family and what their role is in our home and how we should relate with her. That information needs to come from daddy, the head of the house, because that sets the pace of the relationship. So most times people don't do that. They just assume things should work. Like, hey, okay, we are together. I brought my kids, you brought your kids, we have kids. Let's just, you try
Live
to
together.
continue living your life without having that initial conversation of, okay, the family has changed. I've got a new wife, or we have children, or whatever the conversation is, it needs to be addressed outright, and guidelines need to be set, and boundaries need to be set of how that relationship should work. I'll just give a very vague example. With God, He set boundaries in the it's a vague thing. Okay, it's not vague, but it's clear that a boy should not sleep with his father's wife. So in that instance, we know that God is not talking about his mother. He's talking about his. Okay, he does talk about the mother, but he also talks about the other wife who is not the boy's mother. So examples like that are things that I'm talking about. That conversation needs to happen. You need to tell your children, you need to behave this way, this lady is like this. And if, let's say, you're the woman who has come with children, you need to submit yourself to the guidelines that your head has made. You have to let him decide how he's going to relate with your children. You don't demand of him to treat your children how you want him to treat them because you brought them into his home. It's not the same when he's the one who has children and then you come and join. I hope that is clear. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I would say about this blended family thing is it's not easy. Yes, it's, because you're bringing children from a different background and then bringing them together. So I think the only way to make it easy, mostly for the children, is if you let them interact with each other, let them know each other, and then treat them equally. You get, like, Do not try to put these ones aside because, hey, guess what? These ones are not mine, or these ones are the children of the house. So, hey, guess what? We are starting to live on tiptoes. That is not okay. So, I think for me, it's to make the children get to know each other, talk to each other, understand each other. Don't try to understand one side of the party, and then the side is not understood. So, and then the other thing is trying to talk to you as the parents. Sit down your children, both of you, and talk to them and tell them this is what it is. You get, and then promise them that they are going to live well regardless of what is going on, regardless of the changes, regardless of the other children, those kinds of things. So, as you've said, communication and guidelines is a key.
It's very key.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is there's the whole stepmother syndrome.
Oh.
So the word stepmother, it means something. It does not just refer to evil mothers who take on someone else's children.
Yeah.
The word stepmother by itself just meant a mother who is not the mother of the children. Fine, okay.
Yeah.
But because it has an evil, okay, it's been associated with homes where the one who is the stepmother is in most cases not
The bad
very
guy.
loyal to her children, to their stepchildren. And we are saying that is, of course, you shouldn't treat, like she said, those children the same. And it's not easy to take on someone else's children. It's not a walk in the park because there are different energies, they have come from different places. In fact, they may even blame you for why their mother is not around. All that is going on. But that does not change who you are. If you have come and you have come to be the wife in that home, be the wife in that home. Your husband has set guidelines, stick to those guidelines. Don't try to go beyond your abilities. Don't try to cover places in their lives that are not your place. Allow the child to dictate how much they want to relate with you. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
it does.
don't force yourself on them because guess what? I am in the home. You must listen to me. You must love me. You must spend time with me. You know that you're building a new relationship. As you're building a relationship with your husband, this is a new relationship that you need to build. So you need to take time with each one of those kids and know them, understand them, figure them out, and let them open the door for you to their heart. Don't force your way into their heart because you don't know why the situation that they're in, how you came about, you don't know. And you assume that when they are not nice to you, or when they maybe treat you badly, or they shout at you, or they don't greet you, but you know that the small things we want to be like, that child is the worst, all because they didn't greet you, or they didn't say something to you. It's not about you. Even they are dealing with something that is not very easy to deal with. This is their safe space. Now a random person has come, taken their father's attention or their mother's attention, and you expect them to just be okay and
move on.
Allow them to have their moment. Be understanding of what they're going through, and don't force your will on them. Don't try to mold them.
Yeah.
And the distinction is there that your children will always relate with you easily. These ones are always going to have a bit of a hard time. So you're going to have to put in more effort to reach these ones. Because the way you have come is probably not something they're joyful about. That's something you need to know as a step parent. Your presence is not as happily received as you would hope. Because in their mind, again, I would say it could be that you are standing in the way of their happily ever after with their parents. So that is also happening. So you need to present a front of, I understand, but I'm here.
So, and as you're in the waiting of them like warming up to you, I think the one thing you shouldn't forget is the kindness behind it. Be kind to them and caring. Do not try to, since they've neglected you or they've not accepted you yet, you also neglect them. Do the mother job that you're supposed to be doing. The same thing you're doing for your children, or the father job. The same thing you're doing for your children is the same thing you should be doing for these other children. Do not try and say, and we always give that excuse of they don't care. You get, they don't give me the time, so I won't give them the time. Even if they're not giving you that time, you give them the time. Check on them, ask how they are doing, those kinds of things. They'll know that actually this person is not for bad intention, But the moment you also neglect them, those are red flags. Immediately they will know that this person is not for us. But I think that the medicine to this whole thing of you loving your stepchildren is to know that you love the person, the father or the mother of those children. But mostly this thing is with the mothers. Let me speak to the mothers. We have this habit of not loving our stepchildren because they are not ours. And it's because we don't like the mother, let me say. So you end up bringing that hate towards the child. Kumbe, the mother is not even in the picture. Most of the time, the mother is even dead. You get? But the fact that you're thinking about how this man has this child that you found, it just plays with your brain. But the only way for you to love that child is to think about the love you have for your husband. Don't look at the mother in the child. Look at the child as the child of your husband and love them from there. In that way, you're going to see that you're going to overcome the devil. The devil has bad manners. He will always remind you that is not your child. And then he will start, yes, he will start showing you those nitty gritty things that they're children, they don't even know what they are doing. And you, the grown up who's supposed to be reasoning well, you're now fighting with a child for attention, and you're like, what's going on here? Yet, if you came with your children, you want then the stepfather, in this case, to love his stepchildren. And then you wonder what's going on here. So I think it's the thing of not being selfish, be like selfless. The same love you're spreading or you would love your children to have is the same love you should be giving to this other child. This is the only way you're going to walk through that marriage, Burunji, or that family, because you're talking about family. So yes.
If you have to be consistent in how you treat all of them, if it's for cleaning the house, all of you cleaning the house. If it's for doing like whatever chores, be equal in how you're giving out the chores.
Yes.
Now there's this habit you have as a new mom to go easy on the kids that are not your kids because you're trying to show them that
you love them.
I don't want you to, I want you to know that I'm not mistreating you. So instead of treating them equal as yours, you now give them even a less load to carry because you want to appear as if you're not being bad.
Yeah.
But in actual sense, you're doing disservice to your children because now your real children are going to be like, but that so and so is not being treated this way. Why am I being treated like this? When because your kids have no understanding of the things you know. They don't know that because this one is so and so is not mommy's son. It's different. For them, they're like we're all children. So if mommy makes me do these things so hard and doesn't make this one do the same thing, it's unfair to me. I don't understand why she's treating me like that. You need to be balanced and be fair.
Yes.
If you're going to do something for these ones, you have to do the same thing for. If you're going to punish them, let it be balanced.
The same, yes.
So that even this one who is not yours can know that you are actually a fair and just person.
Exactly.
Because even when you're trying to unbalance, like kind of whatever the other thing you're doing to make this one's burden less, again they see you as not being balanced. And just I take a tip, then they can be like, maybe she doesn't think I can do it. Maybe she thinks the kids have a way in which they think that you can just never make 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Yes.
There 2 plus 2 is equals 6 or 10. So you have to be just in what you're doing. I've learned that even when I'm doing like let's say home shopping and so and so likes this or so and so likes this. Usually I used to get irritated. I'm like, now this one, so I finish this. Then the Lord is like, but if you're doing this for this one, you need to do the same. If this one likes whatever yogurt and this one likes milk, buy yogurt and milk.
Yeah.
Don't just buy yogurt for this one and then you don't buy milk for this one. Make sure that they are all comfortable in the home. Then you find they've eaten this one's yogurt, then you're like, why did you eat it? As if for them. As if for them.
The child's yogurt.
Right? Yogurt for one or figure, like if maybe they don't care about that, buy enough for this one.
Yes.
And if you find that something is missing and you're like, because in your head, you're teaching your mind to think different. You're teaching your mind to adapt to a situation that is not usual to you. So in the world, actually, there are no blended families in the world.
Yeah.
Like a lion has cubs, lioness, and brings them. It's not a situation that the world handles because animal instincts are different. But for us, God gave us a brain to
Mm.
adapt. That's why it can only be humans that can have blended families.
Yeah.
But the natural you knows that I will look out for me and mine.
Yeah.
So when you enter blended family, your mind increases and you have to change your mind what it looks like and then actively become
Yeah.
that mother who. So the Echilucha stepmother, much as you don't want to be that evil stepmother, you find yourself being termed that way by certain things you're falling short in because you don't understand
Mm.
what the child is thinking because
And
it's the child's perspective,
yeah.
not yours.
And the other thing is, if you try to fight it to be a very good mother to this person, you'll find yourself making mistakes. So be natural. Just be natural. The same way you're natural to your children is the same way you should be natural, regardless of whether this child is bad. Because sometimes the children can be the most, regardless of whether they are bad or good, whether they go and talk to their father about you, how you're not being the best, even when you're trying, do not change. Stay constant on what you're doing, what you've set out your heart. Most of the time, the step is because you've stepped in for them. You get, not because oh my God, now I'm evil. No, that's not what it means. It's because you are now the person who has stepped in into their lives to take care of them. So if you do not even like bring it out and start telling them, oh, those are my stepchildren, that is just discrimination in the highest. Like, sincerely, let them grow up knowing they are your children. Don't start introducing them to others as these are mine, these are for the husband. You just say these are all my children. Even when you're introducing yourself, hello, my name is Lillian Natalie Jones. I'm a mother of 4, regardless of whether the 2 are yours and the 2 are not yours.
But okay, there are some situations where the other children they really are not yours. Like you're 30, the other children are 20. There's no way. Like people will ask questions of
In
like,
this,
but
yes, they are yours. You took on that responsibility. You get, they might not accept you as their mother in the family this side, but at least you're doing your job as their stepmom. Okay, when they are 50 and you're 20, I get that. But okay, in this case, let me talk when they are all young. You get, they are all young. This is the situation. One day I went to a get together and I had gone with one of the children, and then with were they 5. So all of a sudden I'm like, and I have 3 kids.
And they're asking.
And then my sister was like, isn't this your child? No, I had gone with 4. Isn't this your child? I was like, oh, I have 4. I felt so embarrassed.
Because your brain
yes.
is learning. Be willing to learn.
Yes. So it's not that I discriminate this child, it's that the brain. But then when you're corrected, do not try and say, that's not mine. You get, you say, I have 4 kids, it's just my bad. So make the child feel safe with you and welcomed. By the way, the welcome part, if you don't welcome the child, even if they've not welcomed you, for them, they don't know that. You have to first tell the child, go and greet the visitors, for crying out loud. So how do you think she will react when she knows this person has come to stay? So, and with other kids unknown, you get, so welcome the children. The other part is know your boundaries. Sometimes you go into families and they're, of course, adult kids, let me say. They are teenagers, maybe boys, girls. But then, because they are teenagers, you're afraid. There is that fear in women most of the time that happens whereby, yes, you love your husband, but then you do not want your daughters to actually be too cozy with a man because, I mean, he's not their father. So anything can happen. And I'm being blunt here because these things happen. And anything can happen when you're not around because we've seen those in movies and people are actually watching movies and people pick from movies to to run their daily life. Yes. So sometimes you cannot be comfortable and you're like, but and if you're not comfortable, please say it. Talk to your children. Tell them, this is my husband, point blank. This is my husband, he's your father. Do not try to get cozy with him in any way. Just greet him, sit with him. You get it? Like all those kinds of things. If you feel like it's not comfortable for you, for your daughters or your sons, because also those things are happening, to be around your husband. I'm not saying that yes, I'm not saying that you do not trust them. No, just be cautious. If your brain tells, if your instinct, if your instinct tells you something, please follow up. Amen. Hmm?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, because
So
it's true.
yeah, so those things can actually happen and it sparks something. It can spark something, and then you find that the father has fathered a child in his own home with your child, or the mother has mothered a child with your own son. Yet the Bible distinctively, if the Bible said that thing, that means that it happens. When God says that do not sleep with your father's wife or do not sleep with your mother's husband, that means that it's because he knew that those things would what? God knows the beginning, the end from the beginning. So if those things are in the Bible, they are happening. So do not try to cover it up. Do not look at me like, what is she talking about? I'm talking about this thing because those things are happening in
And
life.
women again, sometimes even mothers. I think this is most common with mothers and their daughters.
Mm.
You tend to assume the person, like you tell your child, this one be safe, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a safe space.
Mm.
And okay, it even happens when that's the real father, but this is a situation where I think you need to teach your children,
Yeah.
like teach them right and wrong, teach
Mm.
them to have red flags. Like if something is not adding up,
Yes.
be quick to speak,
Mm.
be quick to alert me,
Yeah.
because as a mother, still it's your job to protect
Yeah.
that child, to
Mm.
protect them from unsafe situations.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if a child comes to you, whether boy or girl, fathers and mothers, if a child comes to you and tells you, Mom, Dad, I have a question, or I would like to tell you something, stop everything you're doing. No matter how busy you are, stop. Because by the time the child has come, first look at their composure, first of all. If you think it's just a playful thing, they just want to spend time with you, tell them to sit there. But if it's talking, please listen, because sometimes there is something they want to tell you, and that's the only time they've got the courage to tell you. And if a child asks something about sex, stop and speak to them, because maybe someone is trying to talk to them. Okay, let me give an example. You've come with your sons or son and daughter, you found daughters or sons in the house. But then remember, these kids are not related. A boy might try to seduce this other child. You get, or a girl might try to seduce this other child, and you don't know. So if your child comes and tells you that, Mommy, so and so did this, so and so told me this, stop. And the other thing is, bring them all. Don't try to kukuta with them there in the corners and then look at this boy as or a girl as someone mean. No. Talk to the father, talk to the mother, talk to the children, all of them. If it needs punishment, I don't know. What does it mean? You have to deal with the situation immediately and then teach your child how to be around. If you say that you're not around, no one is around, and this person is doing things with you, stay away. Walk out of the house and be somewhere safe than being with a person alone. So teach the children that it is not safe to live with the opposite sex whom you don't feel safe with in the same. Yes, it's not okay. I mean, you can walk away. Tell them they can always walk away. They can always talk to you because things are happening in families and families that we know, families we don't know. You hear those testimonies on TV, Instagram, YouTube. Those things are happening. So pay attention to the children and your husbands and your wives in the house. Husbands, if you're neglecting your wife and you have an older son, you don't know what might happen. You get. Wives, if you're neglecting your husband and you have an older child, it might not even be older. As long as there is a child, a girl child in the house, something might happen. So take care of yourselves as parents. Take your responsibilities, or else your children are going to get into the trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't add to that. It's just as perfect as it can ever be.
Yes, thank you very much.
This is all we have for today.
Yeah.
But we pray that this blesses you. If you have questions, ask them. We are here to answer them.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.